I've tried to dive into analytics inside Ezoic to see if I could find some good learnings for us that we can learn from as bloggers. And I've looked at the top earners when it comes to how much they're making per 1,000 page views. And one article in particular is making more than $100 per 1,000 page views. So that obviously is fantastic. So I took a look at that and I have tried to dissect the top earners to see how are they made, how are they different from other articles, and how can we make article layouts and find stuff to write about that will make us much more money with ads. The type of stuff you choose to write about is also what we call the niche itself, what you're actually writing about on the site. And in my course, I put together an Excel tool with 9 different things that I look for. And one of these things that I think is very, very important and that many people miss when they're choosing the niche is to look for products in the niche. Good products, of course, that are at the right price point. So some niches just have very, very few products. Let's say you're very much into World War II or classical music, for example. It'll be very hard for you to find any products. And that means that you cannot really use affiliate links on your site, but also more importantly, when we're talking ads in this video here, advertisers will not be very interested in bidding on the ads on your site because they don't have any products that will match the content. And remember here that books don't really count. Even though you can find books for anything on Amazon, they have very little affiliate commissions. So you'll make a very, very small amount of money per sale there. So normally that doesn't really make any sense. But I have a whole separate video that I just did a few weeks ago about how to find these great niches. So I'm not going to talk primarily about that in this video here. You can check that out here. And really, I just want to say this one thing. I say this more and more, really go for your passion. Write about something that you're passionate about and just don't focus solely on finding the best super amazing niche and where you'll make the most with ads or affiliate or all of it. Because in the long run, it'll be so much more fun writing about something that you're actually passionate about. But enough about that now. You can check this other video for more about that. Now let's talk about the article layout and how we can build our site in a way that it'll make the most with ads. So most of my articles are pretty similar when it comes to the layout because it's the same editors I use, it's the same procedure, but still some just nail that search intent better. And that's the first thing an article like this do really well. It keeps the user on the page for a long time. And that also means that they need to find exactly what they came for. And people will have different reasons why they click on the search result. They might be searching this same question or the same topic from different angles. So you need to address it as well as possible. And the reason why this is so important is because the longer people stay on the site, the more ads they will see from the ad network. So with Ezoic, the ads will refresh for every 30 seconds or longer. So I talked to some of the guys in the tech team and they told me sometimes they'll actually show the ad longer. If a user stays on the page for a really long time, sometimes they can make more money with that ad impression if it's there for more than 30 seconds. With Adthrive and Mediavine, however, your ads will always refresh after 30 seconds. And with Sovrn, I don't know how to pronounce this, but this is the network I'm talking about. The ads refresh after only 25 seconds. So when you think about this, the longer people stay on the site, the more ads will get refreshed and they'll just see more ads. So that's a huge factor when it comes to how high an RPM or EPMV you can crack with an article. But of course, that's not the only metric. That's just one of the metrics that goes into this equation. It's also super important that you write about something where the advertisers want to bid on your content and where the advertisers bidding there are making a lot of money from that traffic. Because as you know, there's a little auction going on every time the ads load. And that means that the highest bidder will get that ad placed on your site. And the advertisers will bid more aggressively if you have content around something that's an expensive product, for example. But I've talked a lot about this. If you want to see more about that, check this video from last week, or was it 2 weeks ago? Then I also took a look at the images on these articles that did really well in order to figure out why was these couple of articles making so much money with ads. And I was a little surprised there because the top earner, the one that got more than $100 per 1,000 page views, actually had multiple images in it. And this is something that I normally don't do and that I normally advise against. Normally I just place one image at the top of the article, not at the very top. I don't want people to scroll past it to see the first content, the first text. I just want to place it like after a little bit of scrolling. You can check out my sites to see how I do this. But normally I'll only place one picture up there because I want to allow for more ads down the article, because I find if there are too many images that I insert and there are also all these display ads all the way through the article, it just makes it very, very image heavy and a little hard to digest for the user. And of course, it's also something that impacts the load time of the page. But I found that my top earner, the one that got more than $100 per 1,000 page views, actually had multiple images in it. So I wanted to test this. So I put up a test yesterday to just see if I could bump up the earnings with ads from adding more images into some of my articles that didn't do as well as I think they could. So maybe I'm wrong to think that it's a better user experience altogether with fewer images when there are so many display ads. So I'll test that. But I did go down and check some of these other articles that also earned the most across my sites, and some had many images and some did not. So I don't really see a clear correlation there, but it's something that I'm testing now, and I'll definitely let you guys know what I find. And remember to subscribe if you want to know when that video comes out, if you haven't done so already. As I edit this video, I realized there are a few other things that I need to show you guys as well, so come with me here to the screen. It's important to allow for ads out here in the sidebar. And if you're using Mediavine ads, I just had a site approved with Mediavine. They will not take you on before you have a sidebar here that's 300 pixels wide. So that's in order to show as many ad formats out here as possible, I'm sure. And you also want to make sure to not push the ads all the way down before the first page load here. See how I have ads up here toward the top? That's pretty important too, because if the ads start after the user has scrolled a lot here, you'll just not make as much with ads. And of course you want that bottom ad down here to be what we call a sticky or a floating ad, and also one in the sidebar here. You see how this one stays here as I scroll? It's just a few good ads that will stay there and always get that 30-second window with the user. And then of course you need to figure out if you want to place huge ads up here at the top. I don't typically do that because I don't want the user to have to scroll down quite a lot before they see the headline and recognize that they landed on the right article. And then the final tip here is to have video ads. I actually don't have that on this article here. These videos will refresh for every 15 to 30 seconds, so it's pretty important that you upload several videos and have it embedded as a playlist. You can easily do that with the Ezoic and Adthrive, and I'm also going to test this with Mediavine soon. So the reason why you want to have a playlist with short videos is because the video ads show between these videos. So whenever there's a video that's starting or ending, and before that next one, you'll have this little ad in between. So the more pauses or the more, you can say, videos you have in that playlist, the better. So I like to upload small video clips of 30 seconds because that's the minimum allowed between the ad slots. But work with the ad network around this, so you have as many video ads showing there as possible. That will definitely also affect how much you're gonna make with ads. And on average, I've seen a lift at around 18%, meaning that I'm making 18% more from my sites when I embedded video playlists like this. Something else I think can radically impact how long a user will stay on your article is those final touches to the outline before you give it to the writer or yourself if you are the writer. So when you have these subheadings before you start writing the article, try to see if you could somehow reorder these subheadings. And you can also do this after you've written the article in the editorial process to check if maybe some of the most interesting stuff in your article here is buried down in the middle or maybe even at the bottom of the article. Then you want to revamp the article to get that presented first in the article so the user will find something unique, something they hadn't thought about, and just really the best tip and the best information you have for them early on in the article. Because when they see that, when they meet that awesome information as the first they read in the article, then they will trust you more and they want to read the whole thing because maybe there's something of equal value down there and they don't want to miss it. They just can't miss this great information, right? And that's really one of the main differentiators between a good blog and one that's just being pumped out by a huge team of writers is whenever you're able to just produce way better content. And an easy way to do this is to always present the best pro tip you have at the very beginning. I know many bloggers will tell you to sort of build up to that big thing toward the end of the article, but that's just not what I've found to work well. I think today in this fast-paced internet, we just need to give people the best facts early on and not expect them to stick around to read the whole thing and then maybe find this golden nugget that you reveal at the very bottom, because they're not gonna stay around, right? You just want that information right now, and if you find some good stuff, then you lend them a little more time and you want to stick around toward the end and read the whole thing. And that's exactly what we need as many visitors as possible to do. And of course, they'll also be more prone to click your affiliate links if they actually read the article, because if they only read the first 50 or 100 words and then I'm out of here because this is just some introduction, it's just somebody talking about something that's not really relevant to me, then they are out of here. And that's the other tip. Try to really cut down on that introduction and really make it straight to the point, because nobody wants to read about how you came to learn about kite surfing or whatever you're writing about. They just want what they came for. So if they searched for how heavy or how expensive or how long does it take to learn whatever, give those facts to them right away up there and give them some unique information along with it, because then they're gonna stick around. I hope you can use some of these findings here and try to implement it on your own site and see better success with your ads on your sites. Give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. I'll see you guys next time.